Okay, let's look at winter 2019 number 5. So this one we have this this ditch here, this canal, and it's circular. All these shapes are circles, and first you want to write a multi-part function for this green circular ditch. All the way goes from 0 to 40 high and negative 40 to positive 40 wide. So first we got to remember our circle math. So for the circle math, remember that it's x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals the radius squared, where h and k is the center of the circle. So they're just called h and k because you need to have some letters to call it that aren't used. So that's how you give circles. So you know the center of each circle. So I mark the centers of each circle here with their coordinates. And since we want a function, we want to solve for y. So if we solve for y from this, we put this on the other side. So we have y minus k squared is equal to r squared minus x minus h squared. Take the square root of both sides. Y minus k is equal to plus or minus the square root of r squared minus x minus h squared. Put the k on the other side, so y is equal to the y center, k, plus or minus the square root of r squared minus x minus the x center squared. And the plus is the top half of the circle, and the minus is the bottom half of the circle. So if we're dealing with the top half of circles, we choose the plus. The bottom half of the circle, we use the minus. Okay, so for part A, we do our multi-part function. So first we have this little section here, right? This little section there. It's definitely the top part of the circle. And the center is negative 40, 20. And the radius for all these circles is, what, is 20. Yeah, the radius is 20 for all. So this is always going to be 400 here. So the radius is 20. So right, r squared is 20 squared, which is equal to 400. So for this one here, it is, let's see, so this one is y is equal to its y center, which is over here, so it's negative 40. So it's negative 40, and it's the top half, so it's plus, and the square root of, let's see, 400 minus x minus the h center, and the x center here is 20. So, oh, wait. So the x center of this one is, I am getting my stuff, my x's and my y's mixed up. Sorry, this should be, this center right here, if I can read it, y is 20. So that should be positive 20. Man, that's bad. This should be positive 20. So I should use a pencil, but the pen just shows up so much better. Positive 20 plus 400 minus the x center is negative 40. So x minus negative 40 is x plus 40 squared. Okay, that's the first part of our multi-part function. And we should put the domain. I'm running out of room. So this is from negative, let's see, x goes from negative 40 to negative 20. So this is from negative 40 to negative 20. So I'm going to do it this way, negative 40 to negative 20. Okay, then we have our bowl-shaped one. That's the bottom of the circle. The center is at, okay, let me get this straight, y is 20, right? So it's still 20. Actually, they're all 20. Yeah, the center of the y is always 20. So that makes it easy. So y is 20. It's the bottom part of a circle, so it's minus square root of 400 minus, and then it's, the x center is 0. Oh, so we don't need to say x minus h, it's just x. So 400 minus x squared, because the x center is 0 for that one. And that one goes from negative 20 to 20. Yeah, from negative 20 to 20. And then finally we have this little section here. It's the top half of the circle. It's all the centers have a y value of 20. Top half, so it's plus square root of 400. The x center is 40 now. Yep, 40. So minus x minus 40 squared. And that goes from, okay, now you can see it. Sorry about that. So again, this part of the circle, y equals 20 plus 400x minus 40 squared. And that goes from 20 to 40. So it ranges from 20 to 40. Okay, that's our multi-part function. And then part B, they say compute the horizontal width across this canal at a height of 32 feet above the x-axis. Okay, so let's look at our picture. 32, here's 30, about halfway up, so it's about right here. So we'd go across here. We want to know that x value. And then the width is 2 times that, right? So we're going to go from 0 to here. So all we need to know is this section. So our last section here. We just need to look at our last section, look at that formula, figure out the x value when y is equal to 32. So when y is equal to 32, x is equal to what? And then the width is 2 times it, because we have the other side too. Okay, so again, we use this section of it. So y is 32, we got to figure out x is. So we go, okay, so 32 is equal to 20 plus the square root of 400 times x, minus 400 minus x minus 40 squared. Put the 20 over here, that makes that 12. So 12 is equal to square root of 400 minus x minus 40 squared. Okay, square both sides. I get 144 is equal to 400 minus x minus 40 squared. Put the 400 over here. What's that? 400 minus 144. 256. It's negative 256 equals negative x minus 40 squared. Negatives cancel. Now we got to take the square root of both sides to get rid of that square. So I'm going to work on that up here now. So square root of both sides, so square root of 256 equals x minus 40. Or x is equal to square root of 256 plus 40. Okay, now first, if I did this, I would immediately see square root of 256, that's about what? What is square root of 256? That's 16. So that would be 16 plus 40, which is 56. Now that clearly can't be the case, right? Because from our picture, we're saying, it looks like it's probably about 30 wide, you know? I don't know. About 30, not 56. You think, what did I do wrong? And that's because when we do this here, everything is plus or minus. So when we take the square root down here, it's plus or minus the square root of 256. Okay, I chose the plus one. If you forget that, you think, oh, weird, what's going on here? But I chose a plus one because that seems like normally, but we need to put the plus or minus. Turns out the plus one can't be right? That's 56. That's the one if we go all the way to the other side of the circle. If we went all the way to here would be 56, right? But our x value doesn't go that far, so we have to choose the minus one, so it's negative that plus 40. So it would be negative 16 plus 40, which would give us 24. So I think that's right. So that would give us 24. So negative 40 minus 60 up is 24. Okay, so that gives us, and that's more about right. My picture looks like it's a little bit, I get more like 28 or something, but that's because my circle's bad. I probably should have gone up like this. It's why it helps to really draw a good picture to get a good estimate about what you think your answer is. Okay, so x is 24, and the width is 2 times that. So our width is 2 times 24, which is 48 feet. Okay, so the trick there is be careful when you take the square roots. It's plus or minus, and sometimes that really matters, like in this case. But if you forget, that's why drawing a good picture helps. Always look back and say, does that make sense? Wait, 56, that's too big. And then you catch, oh, it's plus or minus. So, all right, thanks for listening.